Hey guys, it's Jay. Today I'll be talking about effective and free marketing strategies. Alright? I've decided to talk about this. It's because some people that I know of told me that they don't have an authority to use on a budget, or they've just started their own school, so they don't have much, money to spend on advertisement. If you're owner of a business, I would say at some point you have to set a budget, then spend some money on advertisement to run your school or business smoothly. But I understand in the beginning it's very, very difficult and kind of scary, because you have no idea what you'll be getting, even though you spend some amount of money, right? So today I'll be talking about literally like free strategies that I've tried and some of my clients tried and did work. Alright? So these are the contents. 1. Event. 2. TV ad. 3. Magazine ad. 4. Teaching at school. 5. Flyer. 6. Collaborations. You might be surprised, like, hey, how could you do, for example, like TV ad or magazine ad for free? You can't quite believe, but there is a way. So I'll be talking about it. So let's get into it. All right. So the first one, event. I think that's the easiest and most effective free marketing strategies. You know how lots of local businesses get together and organize events, right? Or like shopping malls or grocery store. They have always something going on the weekend. And why is that? It's because events attract people. If there's a bunch of people like getting together, we're like, hey, what's going on over there? Let's go check it out, right? So it does work pretty well. So in the picture, we participated in an event called Marché, and there are lots of like food booth, accessory shops, or like massage shops got together. And we had a little booth like that, and there's many kids came, probably like 80 to 90, might be like more than 100. We didn't count, but many kids came. And we prepared lots of different games, or like 4 or 5 different games, and we gave them a stamp card, and once they played one game, they can get a stamp. Then when they get all the stamps, they can get a prize. And everything doesn't have to be like using English. So we had a little game, a little toy like that.
Okay, are you ready? 3,
so much
2,
fun.
1, go!
Yeah, it looks really fun, right? So it's called like pie face, and it doesn't have to be related to English, but showing our presence is very important. So like our prospective customer seeing like your advertisement or your presence like many times, it builds some sort of trust. So appearing like this is very important. Also, we decorated our booth with our flyers or some decorations that we brought, and it was very appealing to the people there. And it wasn't ours, but they prepared like ball pool, so we could use with the kids there too. It was really fun. And of course, you shouldn't end like, hey, it was so much fun. Thank you so much for coming by. Okay? So you need to have them fill out a survey you prepared beforehand and get their contact information, so that eventually you can reach them when you have an event like that or campaign. And here's your example survey that I used before. So here are some questions. What game did your kid like? How did you find out about our booth? Are you interested in having your kid learn English? Is your kid interested in learning English? Yes or no? Can we send you an email when we have an event like this or campaign? Yes or no? Okay. I'll just put the link below to the survey that I used so that you can just use it right away. Okay, and this is for ones that are not really interested in learning English yet. And in our case, we had at the Marche, we had like 3 trial lessons sign up, and then you should have one for those people too. So here's the one that we usually use for people that are interested in coming to our trial lesson, and it's more detailed. Okay, so now how and where you can have events. And about where, so I already talked about, like at grocery store or a shopping mall, or like a local event like marché or flea market. And also you can organize your own workshop for your like current customers, and you can ask them to invite their friends. Now let me explain each one in detail, alright? So, grocery store and shopping mall. As you already know, connection is very important. So try to find someone who works for the grocery store or shopping mall nearby your school. So ask someone, ask around if it's possible. And if you find one, who knows the owner of the grocery store or shopping mall, and it becomes much easier to have an event there. Connection is very important, as you know. And don't worry if you can't find anyone. Actually, you can just call them, then ask them like, hey, like I've been thinking of event like this, and since your grocery store is very popular in this area, I would like to have it there. Would it be possible to meet up to talk about it at least? And usually they said yes. In my case, I didn't know anyone, but it worked out. And the next, you can't just show up and like talk about things in your mind. So you definitely have to prepare documents and presentations that can clearly present what you're thinking of or planning. So of course, like the date, what kind of activities you'll be doing, like what kind of people are targeting at, and how many people you think you can bring from your school or anyone that you know, because it's a huge benefit for them too if you could bring lots of people. Next, let's talk about local events. For example, like a marché, flea market, and there's a thing called like machizemi. It's actually held nationwide, and like local business get together. So let's say 30 shops or business get together and make a group, and it's supported by the Chamber of Commerce and Industry, in Japanese Shoko Kagisho. So they support the group to make a flyer or like advertise on local like magazine or something like that. Then let's say it's held in like October, so like the whole month customers can go to any store and there's some sort of like small event or special something special is going on. it depending on the store and the business. For example, in our case, we had a Halloween party. Since Shoko Kaigisho advertised it a lot, we had probably like 10 to 15 people came, and it was really great event. And I think two or three signed up. So I think it was great result. And it also helped us to make a good connection with other local business. So it went really well. And about Shoko Kaigisho, and I highly recommend to be a member of it because of course it costs some money, like 6,000 or 7,000 per year, which is not a lot, but what they do is like fantastic. They help you with setting up a loan with very low interest, much lower than any other banks out there. And you can talk to them about marché, flea market, machidemi, like, do you know it? I've heard something like that, so do you guys know anything about it? And could you like hook me up with those like people who do it? Or they help you with apply for grant. And there's many grant that we can get as a business owner. So I highly recommend you to be a member of it. Now let's talk about workshop. Organizing a workshop is very important for your school, and also it can solve two big things. One is that your parents, your current customer must have some sort of worries or things that they cannot figure out. So you can set a theme of your workshop based on that. For example, in our case, lots of parents wanted to teach their kids English at home, but they didn't know what to do. They didn't know what kind of material they should use. So we gave a workshop about how to teach your kids English at home. Another thing is that you probably want to get more students, and your current customers can bring their friends that are potential customers. Okay, so let me talk about like our case. So as I mentioned already, lots of parents want to teach their kid English at home. So that was our theme of the workshop. So we gave them a CBC word card set, which has I think 40 cards, and that was from Nut House Education. And we asked our current customers to bring their friends if they want. So free material and have your current customers to bring their friends. And I think about 25 people, including their children, came. And we played very simple games in English. For example, like of course Karuta, like Cup Tower, Target, and like hide and seek, like very simple games that you play in your class. And like they had so much fun, and it was great event. And again, the same as having an event at marché, don't let them just go. Like, hey, that was fun, bye bye. So have them fill out a survey so that you can have their information, and you can reach in the future if you need to. Okay?